Welcome back to episode 12 here in the Director of Football Challenge in Kolding IF, where we try to overcome a catastrophic start to our season. I've gone even further into hand-on approach when it comes to the training. Why? Because the AI is doing a couple of things I do not want, and yeah, so hands-on approach on the training is probably needed. Calendar, if we just take a look here, there is a lot in team bonding, and also the match preparation, or match review actually, is something that the AI is not doing, and I want to do that, so I'm way more hands-on now. And also, we have a couple of mentoring to get rid of some of the undesired sort of personalities. In this specific case, we have a lot of balanced, which is okay, but it's definitely not some of the best personalities, to be honest. Fickle as well here. So we want to, generally speaking, have a very determined kind of group. So that's what I'm trying to look for when we are signing new players, and also staff for that matter. Individually as well, I have a hand-on approach on that as well, especially when we talk to the guys when they have trained. That is going to be very important. But yeah, the dynamics as a whole, we need to do something here for sure. This is gonna spiral out of control this season if we don't do something. Already now we have just in the last couple of days we have 2 more guys coming in with concerns, right? That can be 10 guys in just 2 weeks. We need to focus on this. But things are of course not slowing down. We are right into another game here against AGF on 4th place away from home. I don't think we're gonna win it, and the dynamics is probably gonna spiral out of control, but I'm trying to do as much as I can to help avoid that happening. But let's take a look at how this game is gonna go. No, it's a 2-0 loss, of course. I mean, I didn't expect any other result than this. Performance-wise, also horrendous. But that's the thing, that's what I said. Dynamics are spiraling out of control, and the main key element to us not playing well is the dynamics. And of course also not high enough standard of players. But mainly right now, that spiraling out of control, it's gonna continue. I don't think we are on a path toward reducing anything here. I think it is gonna spiral out of control, and we might end up getting fired because of that in the end. Could we have avoided that? Yeah, if we had a better group of players, maybe if we signed some better players, maybe we could have done something. But right now it looks like we are on a path toward being fired. FC Copenhagen away from home, not exactly a game we had any hopes in. And honestly, I think we did a little bit better here than many of the other games by also scoring a goal and getting 4 shots. Yeah, it's not terrible actually. I think this is reasonable, you know. That we got something out of this, I would say. But of course, with the likes of Ilonisi and who else do they have in here? Vavro, I mean, there are some big names in there for sure. Lea Air is a pretty big name. They probably sold quite a few as well. But yeah, there is just, I mean, someone like this, you know, go figure. We are never gonna beat a guy like that. He's just too good, man. He's just too good. And what about Leia? He's probably also gonna be really, really solid. Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. Last match before the winter break, a draw against number 1 in the league, Brøndby. We're at home, so I would call this a massive... It's probably the best performance of the season. Our defenders did a really, really good job here. Yes, 0.08 XG is not great, but when you're playing against number 1 and you're bottom and you get a draw like this, yes, that is 100% acceptable. I would by far call this the best performance of the season, even with a win in there. We do have a win against, I don't know, was it Randers? I don't care. This is the best performance so far. It is now the 30th of December, so a month later, and Sommer's contract are running out. We are not gonna give him a new contract. Well, actually, I did try, but he is... Probably because we are playing in the Superliga, he wanted 2,300 in wages. Not gonna happen. While he has been fairly good up here, I would say. I mean, he's definitely not one of our worst players, that's for sure. But I don't really see us giving him that big of a contract. Mainly to do with finances, and also to do with, and this is actually with him being released. I've set him for a release. So he's not going to be staying Sommer, unfortunately, and I don't think we need a replacement. I think we do have a couple of players in the midfield that should be more than qualified to play. I say that, and we are still losing probably, but yeah, we're gonna release him. Unfortunately, the captain is gonna go. But we are gonna give out a few contracts, and this is actually, you know, in the summer. Those contracts here are in the summer running out. Most importantly is Anton Klaster, who has accepted a new contract. Well, it's not gone through yet, but yeah, that's a big deal. Having him next season, no matter if we stay up, which is unlikely, or we go down, even more important, we will have Anton Klaster. He's actually been the best player in the club this season so far, so very, very important to keep the best players around. I also decided to offer one to Mokau. He has been terrible this season, but I think he has a high enough ceiling and probably will do a lot better and also develop quite a bit yet. So yeah, he's also gonna get a new contract, but on less wages as well. And also some of the youngsters down here, but I mean that's less important. They are only gonna get a few pounds more. Well, this is a new one. We have been called into a board meeting about one of our players, actually one that we are trying to re-sign. So they want to hold a meeting regarding the performance of Mads Mokau. He has not really had he's had a terrible season. Sure. I actually just made him vice captain. And Klaster the captain. Yep. So let's see what they got to say here. We agree with the fans who feel that Mads Mokau is playing very poorly. I agree, 100%. I agree with that, and we should consider dropping him from the team. No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. It's not his fault completely that we are playing as bad as we are, or have been playing. It's not his fault. It's not only his fault. That is a terrible decision. Yeah, he's a very popular. His teammates and dropping him could. I don't think we should go anywhere near where the morale could get a hit. Nowhere near it. I think we should convince them here. It's just how bad is it that I just made him vice captain and we might need to drop him now. Now that's not actually my decision. It's that's actually the manager's decision. I'm gonna back down because I don't want to get fired. That's right. I mean, Mokau is not as important as we are. So I guess we need to back down here and just let the manager deal with this. And if he doesn't drop him, fine. If he drops him, we might have an issue with just Mokau. But I don't want to have a problem with the board. So I guess, and also the fans, of course. Yeah, I guess we need to do that. It's not really ideal. Drops Mads Mokau. That's a promise. So we got 49 days where we are not allowed to play him. But again, it's not me. I don't know, man. Maybe I should just. I don't know. It's a little bit ridiculous to me. I mean, yes, he's been terrible, but really a board that is not allowing us to play with someone or telling us that he shouldn't be playing. I don't know, man. He's also been on the bench quite a bit, so it's like that's pretty hard on him. That's a really strange decision, isn't it? He hasn't even been the worst player. I don't even. Yeah, well, we'll see how that goes. Well, they did allow us to sign him, so that's a new contract for Mads Mokau. He's our vice captain. He's not allowed to play. Yes, has he been terrible? Absolutely, he has. But he's the future. This guy is part of the future. I don't even know what to say here. That's a little bit silly, but yeah, there he is. Also, a couple of the other guys got the deals done. Some of the youngsters. But yeah, it's I don't really like that about the board telling us that we shouldn't play a guy. I mean, the fans are agreeing with him or the board, but still, it just feels so ridiculous to me. It's just, why? He's not the reason why we are playing this badly. Not at all, actually. So it's a little bit strange. We do also have Anton Klaster here staying, of course, and this is his contract, 1.6k, important playing time, 3 more years. He do have the relegation release clause of 700k. That might be triggered. Someone might come in for him because he is very good. But again, this is probably the most important thing we could do this winter. Keeping the absolute best player at our club. That is very important. He's 19. He could go for even bigger money, right? If we are getting lucky here and not relegated, he could go for 1.4. But just the 700k alone is worth him staying, or his playing time is worth it as well. Just him playing for us next season could be massive for us, absolutely massive. And just a reminder here again, we got these 2 guys coming in, Barcelona, and let's take a quick look at them. But maybe even more important now, Marius Vidal because we're not allowed to play with our vice captain. So so yeah, we got a new striker in. Is he good? No, he's around the same as the other guy. Actually, let's compare them. I do actually think that Mukau is better. They're very similar. They are very similar. But yeah, Mukau is probably slightly better. So yeah, you go figure. But I mean, if he's gonna be playing instead, sure. I actually brought this guy in as the backup to Mukau. So yep. Barcelona, I think he's gonna be good. I actually think he's gonna be very good. He's only what, 22? Yeah, he's gonna be good. He's not gonna develop a whole lot more, but he's already good. And I think he's going to be very good for us. Did we need him? No, not well, kind of. We did maybe need an extra wing back. But yeah, he's just going to bolster the defensive line. I think the best part about our squad right now is probably the defensive line, but we'll look at that later on. So since we are going over to a central defender 4-4-2 with 2 central defender and no defensive midfielders, I think I want Morlem out on loan, and I've already thrown him out on loan actually. He didn't really play, and he do have a ceiling, right? He do have a pretty high ceiling, so he's going out on loan. I've actually thrown him down to, actually we can't see it yet, but to Dalum. Now very interesting is, if you actually, let's do it with another player here. Why is it in here? Let's try and do it with Leo Besson here. So if you want to throw them out on a loan deal here, like you want them on loan with, actually this guy, shouldn't he be on loan as well? Hold on. Yeah. So we do have another goalkeeper in our club that we could use, a youngster, and he actually wants to go out on loan. So let's just do it with him actually. Let's see if we can do this. So let's change, oh, it's in squad, right? It's in here. And then you can move them to affiliate, day loan. Yeah, I already forgot about them, but there they are. Now this comes up. What is really, really good about this screen? Because before I was like into the Dalum squad and like figuring out if they were good enough to play. But no, this screen actually tells you. I had no idea. I haven't played with affiliates for a couple of years. This might be a new thing, and I don't know when this came in, but I don't remember seeing it before. Or maybe I just didn't use it. I don't know. But you can set it up quite, end of season. I think we're gonna throw him out for the rest of the season here. You can set all of this up. That's pretty nice. Goalkeeper, of course, and we can set him up to be whatever. I think we're just gonna do the preferred role, so he can be recalled. Loan cannot be terminated. Okay, so they cannot terminate, but we can recall. That's perfect for us, of course. So we're just gonna throw him out there, and I did the same with Moraine. Is he called Moraine? I forget the names. Besson and Besson and where is he? Moralem. They are going down to Dalum to play a little bit more football. So that's 2 loan deals going out. I mean, I think more, especially Moralem, I think he's gonna destroy that league. He's just so much better than any 3rd division players. He's just gonna go down there and destroy them. He's a leading 2nd division player. He's gonna go down there and just smash and grab. You know what? I love Football Manager, but there is some things that I really hate about the game. One of those things is some of the AI where they decide to do a conversation that makes no sense whatsoever compared to the storyline and what happened. We just sent Leo Besson out on loan with Dalum. The day after, literally the day after, he is coming to us, and we need to talk because it's like a locked in thing. We need to make the discussion with him that he wants more playing time because he wants to play for Kosovo. We literally just loaned him out to get more play time, and now he's mad at us and he wants to be transfer listed. You know, it doesn't make any sense. It just doesn't make sense. That is a part of FM that have been a thing for 10 years now, the conversations. And sometimes this happens. It's not very often, but sometimes it just happens, and you're just sitting there thinking, how can this still be in the game? It's ridiculous. It's just, no, that is making no sense at all. But hey, here we are. Besson, you are transfer listed because the AI is stupid. Oh, okay, I see. So that's why the AI decided, okay, fair enough. So the problem is this thing should be in my inbox before the discussion with him, because we had no idea that he would be rejecting it. If he was just coming to us and saying, I'm gonna reject that loan, I actually want to stay and be part of the first team and play more games here, because I'm not gonna go out on loan, then it would be fine. But that's like the problem. The storyline is not there. It's like they're skipping it. They're like skipping it, and then a couple of days later, this is coming into our inbox. So Leo Besson is not going out on loan. He has rejected them. Well, I'm not happy about that, but we will sell him then. I mean, I don't need this player. He's on 1k wages, and I do have 2 other youngsters that can play goalkeepers, fairly okay levels. So you can get out of here, Besson, if you're unhappy about the situation. Well, I guess Moralem is also rejecting them. You know what? That's what. Then what do? Why do we have affiliates if they're just rejecting them? I mean, okay, fair enough. Maybe they are a little bit too good for that club, to be honest. But I guess that's that's kind of my problem. I guess I should have gone for a club that was in 2nd division instead of 3rd division. Lesson learned, I guess. Lesson learned. We got a youngster. Yes, we do actually make a signing. This is an area where we do need one more guy, and I don't think we have the finances to go out and find someone really, really good anyway. And this guy could be something for the future, right? He could be something for the future, and I am building for the future instead of trying to survive this season. I don't think it's gonna be possible anyway. So yeah, call me Mr. Negative here, or Mr. Defeated. But this is a guy for the future. He's gonna cost us 2k in fees. That's fine. Sometimes you can get some really good deals by just offering them 2k for them. So we're gonna accept it. He is a winger on the right hand side, and that is something we needed. Is he first choice? Nah, he's not a first choice at all. He's a youngster. He is 100% a youngster, but he would probably be 3rd choice, maybe even 2nd choice right now. But he's still got a lot of work to do here. He's 18, so not terrible, I would say. Not terrible. He has been playing in the Nordic Bet Liga a couple of games. He's done okay, I suppose. 6.83 in ratings. But yeah, he's just a reasonable, decent winger. Nothing special about him except from just his physicals. His crossing and dribbling and first touch is very average. Technique is pretty good. Work rate is 12. He's not great, but there is room for development here, right? There is definitely room. So yeah, it's fine, and maybe next season he can be a 2nd choice next season or something like that when we go down. 100%. The physicals here is gonna help him next season when we are in the Nordic Bet Liga again. I say that like it already happened, but I'm a defeatist. So yeah, there we go. We do have at least one signing, and it is a place where we needed it. But in the end, Moralem is going out on loan in Esbjerg, so not the place that we actually wanted him to. He's gonna be playing as a DM. I mean, they wanted him as a DM, so it's fine. I don't really need him. At least I don't think so for the rest of the season. So let's just accept it. And should we set a target for him? Should we see if we can? Because next season he could maybe not be a starter, but he could definitely be more part of the setup. Let's see what we can do here for him, or what target we could make for him. Maybe impact sub would be preferable here. He's encouraged by that, so what kind of target could we set for him? Goal target, match rating is probably the most likely. Clean sheet, no, I think just a regular 7.0 here seems like a pretty good deal. Nope, okay, that's too much. Okay, that's too much for you. Then try and suggest a fair target. 6.8 maybe? Is that good enough? I don't think that's good. Well, sure. Okay, he's encouraged by 6.8. He should manage a 6.8, and if that's the case, he can be our impact sub next season. I mean, he already was, but there we go. There we go. Right, so it is the 2nd of February, and the window just closed, and the transfer that is. So yeah, just to sum it up, Widell in, Barcelona in, Ekelund in, Dusu also went out on loan. I don't think I showed you that. And also Moralem. So actually kind of funny that we are, Dusu is probably a little bit of a gamble because he is one of our wingers. But I don't think he's going to play compared to some of the other guys. And with Ekelund in there, I think we're okay with loaning out Dusu for the season. So yeah, not the most exciting transfer window, to be honest. And then again, we did actually get, Barcelona is definitely going to be interesting. Widell could be good next season, but especially Barcelona is a big signing. Here is the updated squad spreadsheet after the transfers. We got 23 players in the first team squad now, which should be a good number, at least I think so. That's a pretty good number. Maybe 22 is the exact number I was aiming for, but yeah, also the numbers, at least in the first team here, all the numbers have been updated with what they currently are at. So I think Well, actually, the youngsters over here, I haven't updated their numbers. I forgot it. They are in the B team. I kind of forgot it. I'll do it next time. So I think the numbers have gone up significantly. Actually, significantly gone up. And that is only from, I think the last time I did this update was November. And now it's February. So it's not a long period of time where the numbers actually went up. And I do believe that has to do with the hands-on approach kind of training that I, are doing right now. So that seems to be doing good in terms of the attributes and also how well they are adapting to the role they're playing. At least it seems to be the case. When it comes to the dynamics, we did that because of the dynamics. Now, well, we'll talk about that later, I suppose. But yeah, so the numbers have gone up. Is it the attributes, or is it my training, or I don't know why they have gone this much up, but they've gone up significantly on a lot of players, mostly on the key players like Peterson, Madsen, Winterberg. Their numbers have gone up quite significantly. Cluster has gone up really high as well. I think that's 0.4 he's gone up or something like that. That's quite a lot. That's quite a lot, actually. So the players are definitely developing quite nicely. A lot of them are developing, increasing their numbers. So that's good to see. That's at least very good. Actually, a lot more. That is way more than I've ever seen. And that was only 3 months of period of time since the last update I did. So that's a lot of numbers going up. So, how are we looking in terms of squad depth? Pretty good. Actually, kind of funny that we are going from this side over here not being too good in squad depth, and now the left-hand side is not really that great. But I think if we are just looking at the first 11, Mokau, I don't know if he's gonna. I don't know. Well, we'll see. But Sørensen is actually back from his injury, so maybe he's gonna be starting in. And also Vidal as a third option is pretty good there. But first 11, Madsen. That's pretty good. Meyer, Sjöquist, Peterson, Winterberg, Rasmussen, Jensen, Cluster, Barlund. Well, either Barlund or Winterberg, and Snore in goal. I think that's a pretty good 11 for our level, right? I think we can do things against the weakest teams, and I think we can do things. There should be a possibility of us at least winning some games. So when it comes to the overall squad depth, I mean, 21.1 is okay. 22.02. Excellent. So our poacher / advanced forward seems to be, I mean, we haven't scored a lot of goals, but it seems to be okay. Winger over here is pretty weak, but Meyer is, of course, probably our best. He's been probably the best players together with Cluster. So Meyer is actually the goal scoring kind of guy right now. He's actually scoring the goals for us. Also in the friendlies that I just played, he is scoring the goals. So very, very important player, Meyer. Even on the wing, he's very, very important. Midfield, I mean, this is the left side of it. 21.6, pretty good. 23.2, oh, that's a very high number. Yeah, I think we're pretty good here no matter who is going to play. Peterson, Gostina, or Sjöquist. It's going to be fine. Technically, Mukuli could also play over here, like Death is 4. So all those 4 players is capable of playing, over here. But of course, Sjöquist is better on the left because he got a reasonable left-footed. So I think he's going to be playing over here. We actually only have one reasonable left-footed, and that is Sjöquist. The other ones are actually right-footed. Well, Makuli is actually also left-footed. So yeah, over here, well, I think we actually did okay with bringing in Ekelund, because I think Winterberg is going to be playing up here for the most part because of Barcelona coming in down here. So I think we are okay here. It's kind of a different role for Winterberg. He's like a wide midfielder type, but I think he fits the role. He hasn't done really well yet, but I think a wide midfield here is actually interesting with really good Masiles in here. So, or deep line playmakers. So we have a kind of an overload over here if we do play Winterberg, Peterson, Gostina, or even Sjöquist. So it's an interesting side. On the right hand side is kind of interesting, especially now also with Barcelona coming in. So yeah, speaking of that, Barcelona likely gonna play down here. I think that at least to me that seems like the most reasonable choice, with Winterberg playing further forward probably. It could also be Ekelund. I mean, maybe he's deciding to use Ekelund instead because he's more of a winger. Ekelund is definitely the best winger. So, and he's not. That's the problem. He's not very good. He's a youngster, right? He's a youngster. So, but yeah, okay. So yeah, and then yeah, Lindell as the backup down here. That's fine. On the other side, we got Rasmussen. I think Rasmussen is gonna play mostly over here with Høst as the backup, and Barcelona could go over there and play as an inverted wingback. unlikely to happen, but you never know. It could happen a couple of games, I suppose. Central defenders haven't really changed, has it? Well, Barcelona is in there as well, because he is also a decent central defender, Barcelona, or white center back, I would probably say. Very similar to, actually, Rasmussen and Barcelona are very similar to each other. They're both that white center back, but can also play wing back kind of thing, and can play all over the place in the back line. So very similar players, actually, also in age. So kind of interesting to see how they develop. But maybe Barcelona is a little bit better than Rasmussen. But overall, pretty good to have both of them in there. The rest is pretty good. Geist, who is still in there, he improved a lot as a central defender, right? His attributes are not really gone up that much, but as a central defender, the way he plays, that has gone up quite a bit, actually. Quite a bit. He's on 20.89 now. So that's really good to see. And yeah, goalkeepers. Yeah, I mean, Besson is gonna stay, apparently. And we also have the youngster Mayland, who is probably almost as good as Besson. So yeah, and Snoring goal, of course. And yeah, except from that left-hand side over here, I set it to 2.5 because we do have a youngster, M. Lund. He also is out here, but he's like the only one that could potentially come in and be a third option. He's not very good, but he's actually more of a wingback. But I mean, that's why I put it to 2.5 because he's kind of a half man. He's like 16. So yeah, that's gonna be the squad. Yeah, okay, let's go. Let's see, let's actually go over to the dynamics. As I was mentioning before, the training has definitely impacted the attributes and also the how the roles are developing for the players, but maybe not as much in the dynamics. But yeah, again, a very big but here, because the clot atmosphere was actually almost in green at one stage during the winter, and then it went down to red again for some reason. I don't remember what it was. Or probably one of the unhappy players here. Because Dina wants more playing time and Hurst worried about the poor dressing room. Yeah, so it makes sense. And there is still this contrasting personality thing going on. Yeah, and a higher turnover of playing staff, so yeah, it is what it is. Hopefully it's gonna be better, but the team cohesion is definitely getting better. It's just taking a long time to get there. We are actually playing quite a few friendlies. I've set up quite a few friendlies, so again, more hands-on approach. I guess the DOF would also sometimes do some of the friendlies. Well, not play them, of course. I'm not playing them, but, you know, make sure that the club has some friendlies that make sense and stuff. Actually, very big loss there against Fredericia. 1-6. Ouch. I didn't expect that. I did not expect that. But yeah, we do play a little bit more friendlies here in the winter period because I want to get that team cohesion up. And of course, the training, hands-on approach on that as well. What I will never do in this DOF is, of course, the tactics. That I will never do the tactics myself. But I think the training makes sense for a DOF to take part in, but probably not as much as I do. But I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it. Just to full disclosure and all that. But the tactics, nah. No, I'm not going to do any of that. That's all the manager and all the things that got to do with things that happening inside the match engine. No, I'm not going to do that at all, ever. I'm never going to do that. Well, in another save, but not in this one. So yeah, there it is. But we actually, I know it's going to be a little bit of a long episode, this one, because I do want to get through all those 7 games. So we still have some way to go here, right? Let's get to the first game here, Viborg. Let's get to it. Unless something else is happening, but let's get to it. I'm sorry, but how is this allowed? I don't think this is actually allowed in real. So what happened here? Edvard Petersen, our loan deal from Midtjylland, was here until the rest of the season, right? Rosenborg is coming in with a bid to get him when his contract is running out in the summer. But apparently, they also bought him, they had an option to buy him now, while he's still at loan with us. There is no recall options. So how is that legal? How is that even ever gonna be legal? Because we have a deal with Midtjylland. So Midtjylland, they cannot sell him while he's at loan with us. That shouldn't be legal. We have lost our most important midfielder because whatever happened here. So that is making things a little bit strange in our midfield. We might need to go out and find another we only have 3 midfielders right now because we did loan out one, Marina. I think we might need to go out and loan another one because I think we can actually do that. So yeah, that's stupid. That's another stupid thing in this game. How is that allowed? Is that allowed in real as well? Because that is crazy. That is crazy. But anyway, all right, sure. That's a big problem to handle. This is a bit of a gamble. Well, sort of a bit of a gamble because I don't really know enough about this guy. Kylian Lukaso. Yeah, that is gonna be our replacement in the midfield. Now, here's the problem. We don't really know much about him. What I can tell is that he probably will have enough attributes to be good enough. And what I was also looking for is someone that might be a little bit more defensive. Good tackling, good marking, you know, defensive midfielder type, but in the midfield. So a central midfielder or in defense or something like that. Now, is he going to be a starter? I don't think so. I think what is his name? The other dude we have in our midfield. I think he's going to be the main guy in there now. Gustina. He hasn't played a lot. But I think Gustina is likely going to be the first choice for him. But I think we just take the gamble here. I think we do take the gamble. I am not gonna find anyone that is better for this kind of money. And I want to have some finances available to go out and find some cheeky deals when it comes to, not actually cheeky deals. Well, yes, cheeky deals, but youngsters, right? I want to find some more youngsters for our academy. So instead of going out, because I could go out and find someone from FC Copenhagen or, you know, somewhere near there and just spend 5,000 per week. I could do that, but I don't really want to do that right now. So I guess we're going to take a gamble on him. Let's move one day and we should bring him in and we can see how good he is. Oh, he didn't come in. When is he coming in? Oh no, it's next year. It's next year. Oh, I didn't check. Oh, that's now all of a sudden it's a way bigger gamble. Now it's a way bigger gamble. Well, we got a central midfielder for next season, guys. That is guaranteed now. It's so stupid. That's so stupid. Oh, don't ever make that mistake. I didn't check. I thought we could get loan deals in. We got a hole in our midfield, and we don't know how good this midfielder is for next season. So, but okay. Well, it is what it is, guys. It is what it is. Oh god. Another awful result here against Viborg, but at least the performance is slightly better. Also worth a mention is that Viborg is actually second in the league, so I guess we shouldn't expect to win this one away from home against them. So also Ekelund did start in and he did score. That is already now he proved to be a pretty good signing, I suppose, but of course overall not great here, not great at all. Also, our best central defender is out with a, what is his name? I already forgot it. He's out with an injury, and also, yeah, our central defenders are probably a little bit weaker now with Gustina in there. He's not really fit yet, so. But I mean, looking at where we're playing against a really good team right now, it's actually not terrible, I suppose. There's definitely a couple of things to take away from this, but again, it's points that we don't get into the table or don't get at all. That is, of course, a massive problem for us. Randers is probably the most likely team, or one of them, to go down with us. So losing here at home 5-2 or 2-5, well, let's just say that is not great at all, but that is something that is familiar to say this season. Well, at least we're scoring goals now. We got 2 goals, and funny enough, Ekelund again, or Ekelund, I think it's Ekelund. Simon Ekelund, yeah. 7.5 and 1 assist. 2 clear-cut chances for him. I mean, at least we got something out of it. We got also Mukau, who they didn't want to play. He scored 2 goals, right? He's already now our top goal scorer, I think. After 2 games in the remainder of these preliminaries. So they didn't want him to play, but he is playing and he's doing okay. So yeah, of course. Silkeborg, 6th spot. They are in the 6th spot, Silkeborg. So this is not a bad team, and we are away from home. So 2-1. Yeah, they beat us as well. But again, performance seems to be, I wouldn't say going up, but at least we are getting closer to a result against a team that is, well, definitely better than us. So it's not all terrible, it's just we don't get any points, and that is not good. I wonder how the dynamic looks after this match. Actually, let's go out and check. Baptista Meyer with a goal here. But again, it's inverted wingback on Winterbear. Lindell was playing up here this time around. That's interesting. Christina, Maya, yeah. I mean, it's pretty much what I expected to see, kind of. I'm actually kind of interested in knowing why they didn't use Ekelund this time around. Maybe he was not fit. Maybe there are some fitness concerns as well. I'm drilling them quite hard in the training, to be honest, so I'm not too surprised about that. And that might also be a reason for this, but yeah, maybe I should go down a little bit. Oh yeah, it's going down now. The club atmosphere is really going down. Actually, it looks like it's going up, but team cohesion is... the more you lose, the more this is going down, and I tried to keep it there, and it was just not enough. It's just not enough. We lose 3 in a row again, but we still have 4 more to go, and that is not easy games. Well, I say that. That one is not easy. Oh well, 8th place Nordsjælland, 7th OB, 9th Vejle. That's a must win, even away from home. Sønderjyske. Yeah, so the last 2 is definitely the easiest opponents. Hopefully we can find some points here. But, I mean, where are we in the league now? I mean, it's still not impossible. It's just so incredible unlikely. So, yeah. Please make it stop. Oh, please make it stop. 4-1. Well, and it's so annoying because it's probably the best performance of the season. 2.02 in XG. They got Lemina. What? And they got Koulibaly. What? Are you kidding me? How am I supposed to deal with these guys? Holy moly. They got Lasso Koulibaly. What? What is going on here? Anyone else in there that is just crazy? I mean, Gomez, who's that? Sergio Gomez? Why? Why do you have Sergio Gomez? 13 million here and free. Oh my god. FC Nordsjælland. What a team that is. What a team. Well, I can see what. Who's that? Zidane? Is that like Zidane's? No, okay. I was just about to say, is that... It ain't gonna be his son, is it? Nah. But yeah, what a team that is. Oh, that's disgusting. Oh, that is so disgusting. Where are they in the league? Where are they? They are only 7th? Yeah, honestly, I think they should do better with the players like Lemina and Koulibaly in there. I think they should probably... Who is this guy? Lee. Is that like who I think it is? No, it's not. Alright, fair enough. Alright. But yeah, I think with knowing how good that team is, I think we did quite well. But again, no points. It's just, oh man, let's go. Let's just move on. Destroyed by OB at home, 4-0, 0-4. I thought the performance was on the climb. No. Vejle away from home, 4-1. I mean, the performance is a little bit better again, but at this point, it doesn't matter anymore. I'm actually surprised that we haven't been relegated yet, to be honest. But I think it's going to be in the next couple of games, then we're going to be relegated. So, yeah, not great. Let's move on. And the last one in the preliminary phase, just to be consistent, another loss. And that was actually the biggest rival for relegation. Sønderjyske, 11th place. Yeah, I mean, I could not have expected it to be this bad. But yeah, there it is. It is incredibly bad. So with that result, we lost every single game after the winter break. Every single one of them, right? And still 5 points. We have 5 points. I don't really see a reason why we would make another episode in this season. I just don't see it. So what I think we will do, because 100% we are getting relegated here. There's no... I mean, we need to win every single game from here on out to even, remotely get close. There is 10 games, and I think I'll just go through those games and not show you any of them, and then we're just gonna take the review. I think we're just going straight for the review. The only exciting thing that there is in between this and, the end of the season is the youth intake. And yeah, that's about it. So maybe the youth intake, I'll show you that, and then also the end of the season review, because I don't think there is gonna be enough for me to actually make another episode, so it's gonna be a long one here, and yeah, let's just do it. Let's just play through the rest of them, not show you any... It doesn't matter. It even if we win, it doesn't really matter from here on out. So let's just get through this, and we can start over in the new season in the Nordic Bet Liga, and hopefully we can do a little bit better. I mean, we have improved the club stature quite a bit, so yeah, we should be okay. The only question is, of course, as well, do we get sacked? In that case, yeah, I'll come back as well, and we need to figure out things then. But yeah, let's just get through this, get to the youth intake, get to the end of the season, and be over with this. Alrighty, the intake is here, and it is a poor intake. Nothing this season is going as planned. I did actually end up going for an unambitious goalkeeper, but because he's the only elite talent there is. So we do have the unambitious, inconsistent goalkeeper coming in. I mean, maybe we can train him a little bit out of that unambitiousness, but that is going to be the only one I'm going to sign. I am looking for other youth players, but it is incredibly hard to get anyone. It's very hard to poach anything here, but yeah, I am trying to do it. There it is. We are relegated. It is now a confirmation, and it actually came a little bit later than I thought. We have played how many games? 4 more games. So we actually had a 2-2 against OB, but still got quite a few games to get through here. Well. That was no warning. They just did it. So it basically came down to the promise thing with, in this case it was, we reached the decision after you failed to drop Samuel Mentor, even though you promised to do so. So this is where the limitation of the game is of course coming into effect, because if I was the manager, I would of course not have played him. But since we are not playing as the manager, our assistant manager, or the manager so to speak, is of course using him because he's a fairly good player. Yeah, and there's not really anything we can do about that, because he will use him. I guess I could have put him in the under 19th or something, but he can still use him. I could put him out on loan maybe, and that might have worked. So yeah, the question is, what are we gonna do from here? To be honest, I'm tempted to just restart with a new save. I think I need to think about it for a day or maybe 2, because I feel like I still want to play DOF. So, but I'm not sure I want to continue with this save, because it feels a little bit, I don't know, it feels a little bit odd to go to another club right now for some reason. But yeah, we're sacked by Kolding IF. I mean, I can't really blame them. That was a terrible season, absolutely horrendous season, and I'm not surprised that it's gonna end this way. Well, maybe a little bit. I thought we would have done better, to be honest. I thought we would have done better in the league, but 2 wins, that's never gonna be enough. I think one of the things I've learned here, because it's the first time I played DOF, like for real play DOF. And what I learned is how much the tactical things that you can do in the game, how much it actually changed how good you can be. You know, what we can do how we approach the game with tactics and those changes we can do inside the game, inside the match engine. How big a deal that is when you have a setup where you might not have the best players, but often you can put out one of the best tactics and still perform to some level. And there is probably quite a few things that is a reason why we did so bad when we moved up. Yeah, there is probably a lot of reasons. One of them is probably the tactic. We had a lot of players that was pretty good on the ball, but definitely not good when they didn't have the ball. And all of a sudden you're in a league where the opposition is so much better, right? The difference is incredible from the Superliga to the Nordic Bet Liga. It's like night and day. It is not like, you know, Championship and Premier League. It's nowhere near that comparison. Championship is so much closer to the Premiership compared to Nordic Bet and the Superliga. So our players were so far from any kind of level against most of the opponents. And then the dynamics, of course, come into play. If your dynamics is like spiraling out of control like it did for us here, often you can turn it around if you're playing yourself, but we don't have that kind of control here. Even then, you might not be able to. The dynamics are so incredibly important. If you start to spiral out in dynamics, you are like, and we had really terrible dynamics all season long here. So that is probably the 2 main reasons. The players' quality was really, really low compared to the league. we don't have any control over the tactic, and also the dynamics just completely getting spiraling out of control. So those three things kind of led to this. Of course, the main point is I didn't, the promise of course, but that was not really what is leading to us getting fired in the first place, I would say, because that would never happen. That kind of promise thing would never happen if we did okay. So yeah, not the way I hoped it would end this series, but I think we might come to an end here. I haven't decided yet, so stick around and see if there is another episode, but I'm likely gonna start another series if I don't continue this one. And maybe straight into the same kind of idea, just with another club. Could be we go to another, nation. And then you could say, yeah, you can just continue this save. Sure, I could definitely do that. We could also try and do something a little bit. I kind of feel like I might want to go for a youth kind of, maybe youth academy. But then again, I don't really want to get into the tactics all that much. I don't feel like I feel like playing DOF, right? I do feel like playing a bit DOF-ish. But that's hard. The game is definitely not set up to do that, as we can see here with the promises. And there is also a couple of other things that is a little bit problematic. Another thing I thought about maybe doing is play without attributes and play with only statistics. But again, I really like seeing the attributes. I really do. I do like that. So it will be hard to play without attributes, but it's something that I have thought about quite a bit. But I'm not sure. I need to think about it for a day or two, and yeah, I'll be back then. So, unfortunately, I think we're gonna end it here, at least with Kolding, and then we'll see what happens next. So yeah, that's gonna be it. So, sorry guys, but sometimes it just spiraled completely out of control in that season here, going up to the Superliga. So yeah, that's gonna be it, guys. I'll see you around next time.